For a long time in American politics, youth voters has been one of the most sought-after demographics, but unfortunately, when it comes time to show up at the polls and actually support somebody, they've always fallen flat. And that was the conventional wisdom, because that's what statistically had happened for many years. But all of that changed in 2018. In 2018, we saw a massive surge of youth voters, and experts say that that surge in youth voters contributed to an additional 10 House seats won by the Democrats that year. And let's not forget, 2018 was the blue wave. Democrats took more than 40 seats, but it would have been about 30 seats had the youth voters not shown up. That's power. Then in 2020, those turnout numbers from 2018 doubled. Doubled. You had nearly 20% participation in 2018, almost 20%. In 2020, that number was nearly 40%, bringing the participation level to roughly the same as most other demographics, except, of course, elderly voters, I guess. They always win the day. But this young generation, aged 18 to 29, which it pains me that I'm no longer a part of that generation, but either way, they have the political power. And, according to the experts, they also hate Donald Trump. They hate his policies. They hate the fact that he didn't give a damn about them. And these same experts are telling us that if the youth voters turn out in 2022, that may be the only thing that prevents the Democrats from getting absolutely blown out by the Republicans. But it all will hinge on that youth vote. So how do we get them out? Well, believe it or not, the answer is simple. Give them something to vote for. And not just something in the future. No, see, that doesn't work. Give them something today to protect in 2022. Something to vote for that they already have. Something to vote for that changes their life or has already changed their life. We can't keep making promises and not delivering. There were a lot of lofty promises made ahead of 2020, right? I mean, hell, at one point we thought we were going to get student loan debt forgiveness. That hasn't materialized. Thought we were going to get lower prescription drugs. That hasn't materialized. Green New Deal, not happening. Debt-free college, that's a pipe dream. Medicare for all, forget about it. They have nothing. They have nothing. Except, of course, again, as the experts are telling us, crippling anxiety about their futures. Everything is uncertain for them at this point. You know, we no longer live in a country where you graduate from high school and you can either go right into the workforce and get a fairly decent job, or you go to college and you get a good paying job. Not saying you can't get a good paying job without college, but that used to be the conventional wisdom, right? You go to college, you get a good degree, you marry, you buy a house, you have a couple of kids, white picket fence, 2 dogs in the yard, chicken in the pot, all that. Those days are ancient history here in the United States. We have generations of individuals, not just the youngest, but, you know, like me, the millennials. We're getting older. We're pushing 40 at this point. We still have tens of thousands of dollars apiece in student loan debt. Some of them have never been able to purchase a house because the housing market is so insane in this country. I'll be perfectly honest. The house I live in right now, the only reason I was able to afford it was a combination of things. It was one, it was a foreclosure that I got for dirt cheap. And 2, I had been in a horrific car accident and actually used some of the settlement money for that to pay for the house. So, there's that. We can't rely on this whole generation getting in car accidents and using that money to buy foreclosed homes. So we have to give them something. We have to make their lives better. Because what's going to happen if we don't? And I bring this up now, obviously, because of what's happening in D.C., right? We do have legislation out there that would dramatically change the lives for the better of millions of people in this country. Legislation supported by a majority of Democrats and Republicans out there in the public, outside of the D.C. bubble. And we can't have it. We can't have it because 0 Republicans support it, and a handful of Democrats taking money from major corporations won't let us have it. And if this continues, kiss the midterms goodbye, because those youth voters that helped you win in 2018 and 2020, they won't show up to the polls, and honestly, you can't even blame them for that.